There's so much about the guitar that's difficult, complicated, hard to understand, but today I'm going to share with you a simple idea that you can really put into your playing probably by the end of this video, and I think it will help you level up your acoustic skills. Let's get to it. Hey, John here, and in this Tuesday Blues, we're going to have a look at an idea, a really simple idea that you're going to hear throughout a lot of great tunes in the blues. Think SRV's Scuttlebutt and Baby Please Don't Go by pretty much everybody. Two great tunes, and you might not think that they have something in common, but they really both are built on a recurring riff or lick. Think about Scuttlebutt. If you're familiar with that song, there's just this blazingly fast, super fast lick that repeats. Really, the chords keep changing. That lick is just right there. It's the constant kind of coming right at you with that style and power that SRV can bring, obviously. We're going to talk about recurring licks and how you can use them to really fill out your sound and level up your blues. As an example, we're going to use a little tiny piece of music. It's one of the performance studies from the BGI premium course called Fingerstyle Fundamentals. And what we're going to do is layer in a nice repeating lick, and you'll hear the idea kind of develop as we move through the chord progression. Let's give it a listen. All right, so in this example, it's really based around just some basic chords. If we pull out the recurring lick, we would get something like this. Which is something that you should definitely practice to help build some independence between your thumb and these three fingers as a group. But when you're ready to kind of level up and grow your skills a little bit, that's when you can bring in a recurring lick. And I like that it's recurring because you learn one lick and then you kind of feature it throughout. It's a great way to kind of practice while you play. So let's work on getting this down. This is in the key of G, so we're just fretting a G chord here and we're pumping the bass. That's staying steady, right? And we're going to change chords, and I'll tell you about that in a second, but just make sure you can do that. Then we're going to pick the top three strings with these fingers and pick them simultaneously. We're going to do that on the offbeat, so 1 and 2 and 3, 4. That's the main idea for the first measure here, and all I did melodically was drop down on the first string to the F so that we can get that cool G7 sound happening. But now on the and of 4, so after this, 3, 4, when I hit and, I want to start this recurring lick. So I'm going to put my little finger down on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, that D note, slide up. And this is happening rather quickly because we're going to start on the and of 4, but these are 2 16th notes. So we want to play that slide before beat 1 of the next measure. Beat 1 of the next measure starts with the open 1st string. On the and, we're kind of moving more into a C chord here, and then on beat 2, we're going to hit that really cool bluesy flat 7 of the C, which is a B flat here. And let that ring. We're going to let the bass fall away for the first 2 beats of this second measure as we kind of focus in on the melody here, on this recurring lick that we're setting in. So that's the main idea here. We're really punching up what would just be some kind of sparse chords with a cool little lead line in the middle there. And if you really want to take this to the next level, then think about playing some chords while you would be singing and then play the lick when you're not. Maybe you stretch this progression out and allow it to grow into a tune, throw some lyrics to it, and you got a cool little jam waiting to happen. All right, so let's wrap up this progression, right? We've got this whole melody thing going, and so far we've just kind of repeated it. And then what we're going to do on the and of 4, the last time we do this little move here, 3, 4, and. On the and of 4, we're going to catch that open E, and and then do 2 of those slides, but that's starting on beat 1 of the next measure. Then we kind of come back on the end of 1 and then 2. So it kind of feels familiar, right? We're kind of repeating a lot of this, but we're putting in this little extra something right here at the end. All right, but instead of moving into RC and just continuing business as usual, what we're going to do is walk down. We're going to walk down starting on this A note here, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and then open. All right, so we've got then we're going to just do a couple of little chord pumps here. We're going to start by picking the top 3 strings under a C major. It's just a cool little inversion of a C major triad there, but we're going to pick it, then bass, and then pick it again. Then we're going to do the same thing, but with a D7. So all you got to do there is just put these 2 fingers down and keep that same pattern going. And then finally, we can end back on our 1 chord to round this little progression out. So once again, the ending here. If this example looks a little bit out of reach for you, then check out the 5 essential finger picking exercises that I've got for you. It will help you build thumb control, finger independence, and coordination. These are core skills that you need to have as a fingerstyle acoustic blues player. So click on over there and check out the guide, and come on back next Tuesday for another acoustic blues lesson. Until then, practice smart and play on.